Hey, it's the Greg Wrights Live Show with David Cox. How are you doing today, Dave?
Good, Greg. How are you?
I'm doing great, and welcome to all the public out there, agents, brokers, consumers, and just the friends on social media that are watching this. We always like to bring value and information to the public and the agents and brokers that can help everybody in this industry. We want to improve real estate and the consumer's relationship with real estate agents, right, Dave?
Absolutely. Yep. Thanks for
So
having me on today.
today's show is going to be agents. Are you doing this? Are we top of mind with our clients? Are we top of mind with the consumer? Are we top of mind in the industry? So, David, I've been in real estate about 15 years now, high producing real estate agent. I take a lot of coaching, a lot of information that I've gathered over a long period of time to be the best that I can be and give that over to the public and the agents to have good experiences in real estate and build those relationships over years. And I know that part of that has to do with working with the right franchise or brokerage. We have our place here under with EXP Realty. We love EXP. Came to it a while back from another big box company and a real estate team, and we just love EXP and all that it gives the agents and the tools for the public, including our sellers and buyers. And I understand, and I've known you for a while. You came into real estate a while back, and you joined EXP. Tell me a little bit about your experience with EXP.
Well, first of all, I've heard a lot of good things about you, Greg, and I've heard a lot of good things about EXP. I've been with EXP since the beginning of my career, my real estate career, and it's been great. I mean, hands down compared to some of the places I've worked with and heard about.
Absolutely. I mean, you get some of the that KV core package, that $500 CRM. You get online training about 50 hours a week where you can study at night, learn how to work with buyers, sellers, and improve your business to a higher level, all free, right?
Oh, yep.
That's
Plenty
that,
of training.
yeah, that's the thing that I love about it. That's just some of the stuff. There's a lot
Me
more.
too.
But today's shows, that's just a quick hit to the public and the agents to know who we're working with and why we're at EXP. But today's show is really about what keeps us top of mind. Are we doing this to resonate with the public and building relationships? Because you would agree, Dave, that purchasing a home, a farm, a lot, whatever it is in real estate, is probably somebody's biggest asset in their life, right? One of their biggest, if not the biggest. So don't you think that that should be personal, Dave? And we should have a personal touch, like talking to people and having phone conversations.
Absolutely, yes. I think it's very important. People want to talk to people. They want to get to know people. They want to feel trusted and want that loyalty.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And what do you do? What do you do to create that loyalty? What do you do to create that relationship and foster those clients to make it more personal than just a call and an email? A lot of people want to text and call, right? A lot of agents, a lot of people in the business want to just text and call. But I know, call me old school or whatever you want, but I like making those phone calls and building relationships because this is all about friendships and about being happy in this business. Don't you think, Dave?
Yes. That's number one thing. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone, make that call, and talk to somebody.
And build those relationships, right? So part of the problem in the industry, Dave, is a lot of clients are telling me, people are telling me, well, my last agent just called, they just text, I can't explain to them over a call and a text how I'm feeling. I can't convey the empathy through the text or the email, but I can through the call. And another problem we're having in the industry today is that when there's an issue or a problem, you have to communicate that empathy, that feeling through the phone. You can't do it, right? And another problem is, and I'm guilty of this, I would put a text out there to a lender or a client, and they could read into that text incorrectly, right? And all of a sudden you've done something bad when it wasn't meant to be that way. And when you're on the phone, you can't make that kind of a mistake, right? So it's much better. So that's the problem. Miscommunication through text and email and lack of empathy and relationship building. Would you agree that's the problem we have right now?
Very much so. Yep.
Absolutely. So let me give one experience and then you share an experience without making the phone calls, how it's affected your business because we got real busy and I've been guilty of it. That's why I've learned from my mistakes not to rely on too much technology for speed and efficiency for text and email versus making the call because the call does take longer. But you know what? People are that important and we need to realize it wasn't for them. we wouldn't be in real estate. So I thank you, public, for allowing me and Dave to serve you and allowing us to have communication with you. So, experience that I had calling, pick up a new client, right? True story, rare. Picked up a new client. They said we like to text and email. You don't need to really call us. Well, I knew better than that. You should still try to call and get them to know you over the phone so they can build that trust and relationship with you right off the bat. So there I am going through calls and text and emails, not calling. Next thing I know, 2 weeks later, they went to the lender, they got pre-approved on the buying side, and they end up working with another agent. And one of the things that says, well, we didn't really have a relationship with you, quote unquote, so we went with another agent. Guys, this is a relationship. The client told me that I needed to make the phone call, even when they say just text or email, still make the phone call. Because people are still striving for that connection and those relationships, whether they say text or call only anyway. And that was one mistake. Another mistake that I made was not making the call to a seller. So I see a for sale by owner sign, right? I know that I should call that for sale by owner because the number's right on the phone. And that for sale by owner is waving his hand and saying, hey, pick me. I want to list my home. I want to sell my house and I'm having a hard time. So I should call. I don't call. I try to text the number, right? 3 or 4 days later, I finally call and he says, I already listed with somebody else.
Yep.
Look, guys, make the phone call, whether it's a person and a seller or a buyer in real estate or just a friend. Make the phone call, build those relationships. This is one of the consumer's biggest transactions and assets they'll have in their life, and they want to talk to us. We have that duty and right, and anything less than that, we're really cheating the public. That's my opinion. So that was my experience of it and my learning experience. And I call it a failure, but it's really a learning experience to get better. And I learned from that. And that's what we're both sharing on today. And you have an experience you probably went through, huh, David, by not making a phone call?
Yeah, actually, I had something similar not too long ago. For me, what I like to do is I do use text to introduce myself and get into the phone call. I like to, hey, sir, or hey, ma'am, do you have a minute so we could have a quick phone call? I use that to get the phone call because it's so important to build that trust and put a voice to it so you could, make sure that you know who they are and that you sound loyal and they're loyal. I had an experience, was texting this guy and I actually knew him and we were texting back and forth and we got to where we got showings. He wanted to see a couple places. I sent him listings, found a place, he really liked it. And then right at the last moment, he backed out. He wouldn't pick up the phone. So I finally got a hold of him and he had another agent that was showing him the house the same day. I didn't know that because I never picked up the phone and called him. So I just like you, I learned quick and I make that call. Sometimes we get busy, we get caught up, and we a lot of people they hide behind text, and we need to, for the public, do them a better service and pick up the phone, introduce
Yeah.
ourselves.
And I think sometimes we're busy and all of that happens. It's real life stuff, but we still need to make that quick phone call because they need to realize how important they are. Secondly, we we
It takes
sometimes
2 minutes.
sometimes we don't make the call because it's uncomfortable. It's a transaction's going rough. We don't talk to the other agent or the public or somebody calls on a listing and we just don't want to make the sell, talk about that property right now, that sales call. We got to answer the phone or call back as quick as we can, right, Dave?
Right. Yeah. Phone call take 2 minutes. Everybody has 2 minutes instead of sending that text. Pick up the phone.
Absolutely, pick up the phone. That's key, right? A true
Yes.
story here. So I was up in Las Vegas, right, and we were taking real estate training with a coaching system, and we're going in a bus, in a small bus, like a van, from one place to another, in a real estate training that we're there on a few years ago, and they saw me on the phone because I'm kind of a real estate, uh, what I said, real estate professional that's a workaholic, real estate
Right.
aholic, right? So I'm on the phone, I'm making sales calls, I'm answering my phone in the bus, and we're on training, right? And I'm making calls or receiving calls and talking to people. And I got off the phone. They go, man, dude, you're making all these calls to people, and we're in training. And I don't call people like that. Why do you do that for? Literally, why do I make calls like that? Why do I answer my phone? I go because I'm in real estate and this is a relationship business. So making those calls is the only way. call me old fashioned, but I believe in those relationships, right? So they didn't
Right.
understand it. I asked them, what do you do? Oh, we text and email. Well, that's all we do. And then until later on, we might call a couple times, but that's it. No, no, no.
Yeah. I think it's hard. I think it's hard to build a relationship through text and email. Just
Yeah. And
can't
then
do it.
I asked them, I go, how is your production? They go, well, we sell about 14, 15, 20 homes a year. I go, well, we sell, 72 to 82 a year. So when you say it's 4 to 5 times the volume, right? 5 times the volume, making the phone call makes that difference because people enjoy and appreciate that one-on-one touch. Now, the rest of what we're going to talk about mostly is about the solution to the problem. The problem is not calling and making a personal relationship. So me and Dave, we believe in the traditional way of doing real estate business by making the call, right, Dave?
Right. Absolutely.
And we're constantly reaching out to clients and saying, hey, pick me, pick me. I'm calling you. I'm here. I am grateful to work with you, and I want to give you that personal touch. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
And and Dave, what do you think? Are you available for your real estate contacts and all the rest of your business too? Like when you're doing a transaction, you're available for the new client, but you're also available for the other aspects of your business by phone, right?
I make myself available all the time. I'll stop what I'm doing to answer that phone. I'll excuse myself and make time for that person.
Absolutely, and that goes on to show that we care, right? Because we're spending that extra time to get them on the phone, whether it's a vendor, escrow title, lender, or the client, right?
Yes, sir.
Or even
Yes,
a
sir.
new client. So we're doing business that directly impacts people, and they deserve that touch. So I make it a point for these people that to bring value to the community. Part of this conversation today and this show is to bring more value to the public to realize how the best way, in my opinion, to do real estate is to make it personal and building those relationships. So we're going to bring value to the public by having this conversation today. So I'm glad we're doing that together. Um, what other item could you add to bring value to the public in real estate, Dave? What
Well,
personal you do?
I think the invitation to the call, and the call is a big part of it. And then the next step is meeting people. It's hard to understand what people want and what they mean through a text or email. So you have to get ear to ear and really listen and give them the service that they deserve. Very important.
Absolutely. And you only do that by having those, by meeting them and showing those properties and having those conversations in touch, right? I like to do even with the COVID-19, we still have meetings with the family or one-on-one. We list property in person. We do it virtually. We do it in the office. We meet them here before we go show properties. They, and if they want virtually, we can do that too. We can do it either way. EXP is built virtual.
Right.
We also do it one-on-one. So we have all the safety precautions, right? The gloves, the mask, the sanitizer. Got a big old bottle over here. So I mean, we have it, whatever you need, and that one-on-one, those relationships are huge. Don't sell yourself short, public. You should have an agent and a broker that's working for your best interest and have those conversations on the phone with you because that shows that truly you are important. Um, so we should go
Yes.
the extra mile, right, to help them by making those phone calls and showing that, bringing that value. This builds communication and trust in the business, right, Dave?
Absolutely.
Can you do you have one small experience that you could maybe share where you think the phone calls and those one-on-one meetings has made a difference with a client or somebody that has maybe gave you a review or a positive feedback because you did that?
Well, there's so many of them. I mean, it's hard to pinpoint just
So
one.
maybe you showed a property, right, Dave? And they said, "Man, Dave, thanks for meeting me." Yeah, that's
Right.
a job, right?
Right. And also, without that call with text, you just don't understand their meaning. And sometimes people are waiting and they have questions and they want to meet you and they want to do this, but you don't know because the text didn't reveal it. So, yeah, it's so important to get on the phone and really listen and understand your customers' needs, your
Absolutely.
clients' needs.
And even with our company, we're number one in the world for virtual, right? It's
Yeah.
made to be virtual. We put a place of business underneath EXP with EXP lined up together, and we like the one-on-one and the meetings and the phone calls and virtual if that's the way you want it. But since the world so much is getting so virtual now, we're starting to miss out on the bonding with people face to face. That face to face meeting and bonding is more important than virtual. The reason I'm in real estate is I love people. I
Right.
want to help people. I want to bring value. I want to show the consumer how important they are. I want to build those relationships over the years and decades, right? And
Yep.
the face to face, there's no better way than that, because then you can create that connection and the feelings back and forth on what's important. And you need to have that, in my opinion. The highest level is that the personal touch on the phone and the meetings. Um, we are 100% virtual if people decide to do that here at XP, but we still have an office because that's human touch is important, right? We can meet them anywhere they want, or in a home to show it, or at their listing. Back plenty of offices throughout the country we have at EXP, and even globally. So you're able to do virtual like no other company, or 100% real. We could be 100% in real life, or we could be 100% virtual. Whatever you want, for whatever your standards are, we're here to help them, right, Dave?
That's right. And it's very important in these days because some people want to go either way, and we can accommodate either way. It's nice to have a nice physical location, a nice office to bring them to, if that's what they want.
Yeah, and let me give an example of one just in the last week. We put a client. I have a client who's a buyer in Sanger that wanted to buy a lot. We have the lot. We are accepted offer. We're in escrow. I talked to him on the phone. I always show the property before most of the time, I would say 98% of the time, I show the property prior to writing an offer, an agreement, right? The buyer said, I know where the property is. I go, well, you don't want to see it. He didn't want to go see it. He was busy. I said, well, you know where the lot is, right? He goes, yeah, because it's right here. I said, okay, that's right. So we get in contract, and then on Friday we go to see it. He goes, well, I thought it was down the street at this other place. I said, no, it's right here. I'm showing you where it is. And that's why I wanted to meet you at the property, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
so lesson learned. You don't want to see it. We need to go see it. Now it's going to be like, nope, I'm not going to write a contract, an offer, and get you a deal here unless we go see it. Now we're still going to finish the transaction, but that just goes to show you that you got to have that personal touch, and you got to show them the property, right? Sometimes we have to say, no, I really want you to see it, as a professional, to help that client move forward on it and know that they got the right product for what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't lose touch with our clients. Keep those relationships, keep those phone calls going. Let them know how important they are. And whether you're meeting virtually through EXP, or you're going on the phone calls and the showings one on one, just reach out and have that constant communication with the clients. That should be your approach too, my approach, and all the agents and brokers out there, right, Dave?
Well said. I agree 100%.
So we want to keep the customers at the top of mind and make ourselves available to all of their needs. Right, David?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, and you're doing quite a bit of volume as we are, and part of that's because what? We make the phone call, Dave.
Make that phone call. Pick up the phone.
Now let's just give a quick minute on EXP. You joined EXP. I see the sign behind you. Got mine behind me. I love the ability to work with EXP. The cap that they give us once we pay the broker X amount, we get all that those funds back. The ability to help the clients with all the technology that they have, the the revenue share, the profit share, and all those things for the agents that we've talked about in this program a few times. And that's one of the biggest reasons you picked this company too, right, Dave?
Yes.
So why don't you share your name and phone number? If any agents or clients, sellers, or buyers want to reach out to you right now, they can.
Okay. Yeah, I'm David Cox, and David Cox. My phone number is 559-681-3394. And Greg, just to tell you something about my experience with EXP, and for new agents coming aboard, when I was new, sometimes you have questions, and it's hard to get a hold of somebody in the big office or the big broker's office, and you got to wait. Sometimes you pick up the phone, they don't answer. With EXP, I hop on the virtual world. I have my answer. I go to the right place and get my answer within 30 seconds. It's just wonderful. There's so much support.
And I'm the same way, because sometimes I'll get an answer and I'm in the middle of a listing or something, and I'm not able to answer. Give me 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and then if that happens, then I myself can go and get that answer quicker through the world, which is really good. And I've been at the XP a while also. I love the things that I just talked about, the ability to get that instant information. For new agents, we have mentorship. That means one-on-one trading with a powerful real estate agent on the first 3 transactions to show you how to go from 0 to 100 quickly and understand the real estate transaction and business. Right, Dave? And that's
Yeah.
going what you do. You know, I love doing that. I'm a certified mentor. David is well versed in real estate. Either one of us can help you along with that. And my number's along on the bottom of the screen. If you want to learn more, call David Cox at his number, which again is what, Dave?
559-681-3394.
And mine is 559-260-1777, gregwrights.com, for buyers, sellers, and agents wanting to learn more and have more out of their career. David, I guess that's about it. Any thumbs up you want to give right at the end?
No, I think you covered quite a bit and right on target. Well said.
Perfect. Thank you for being on the show, man. For your
Thank
success and for the client's best benefit. Make the call. Make it personal. Have a blessed day. Bye, guys.
See you later.